All right, South African artist I Viwe Mfaku is on a captivating journey as he reimagines the future of Africa through his latest online exhibition. And so building on his critically acclaimed Afro Sci-fi debut, ISINTU Season 1, Mfaku's newest body of work invites viewers to contemplate the essence of African identity and culture. So through 7 stunning oil paintings, Mfaku explores the concept of ISINTU. It's the intricate web of traditions and customs and practices that define African heritage. It's from the warmth of communal gatherings to the vibrancy of traditional dress. Mfaku's artistry brings to life the beauty and resilience of African culture. Well, the artist joins us this morning to chat a little bit more about his artistic journey. Viwe, good morning. Thanks for your time in the SABC at this hour.
Good morning. Thank you very much for inviting me.
So Viwe, it's important to note Afrofuturism, it's not just about black science fiction. It's about recording history. It's about imagining or reimagining what's possible, expanding that frontier. And so your ISINTU movement, redefining African identity through science fiction, talk to us about how you envision this movement ultimately to impact everyday life.
Yeah, thank you for the question. So yeah, ISINTU is an art movement, as you've introduced, and how I imagine it impacting everyday life is obviously we're starting with the concepts of exploring just different ideas and, through themes of family, wealth, and rites of passage. How I envision this impacting everyday life is we, start looking at different ways of bringing our identities forward, from where we currently are and really competing at a global level in a very proud and unapologetic way, with our Africanness. That's really the core impact of ISINTU, that I imagine coming to life.
Talk to us about the symbolism in it. I know that the Sankofa is there. Sankofa symbol is, bring back what needs to be reclaimed. And so perhaps combining African knowledge systems with technology and with this idea of Afrofuturism. Talk to us about how Season 2 represents that bold future.
Yeah, so ISINTU Season 2 really, in the first sort of way, is a lot more critical of how I express, our African identities. We are very sophisticated. It's just not well documented. So that was the first, sort of thing I wanted to really communicate a bit more. And in terms of symbolism, there are a lot of references to traditional, weaponry, traditional rites of passage, patterns, as well as dress. And that's important to carry over in this body of work. Obviously, I've gone with oil paintings to give it a bit more texture and make sure that I differentiate it with the current art that's available in this space.
Viwe, thank you for pointing that out, because we are reimagining Africa through art. And the battlegrounds are not just political. It's through films, it's through games, it's through books as well. And one needs to imagine what is possible, because imagination is actually a deadly weapon against bigotry. So talk to us about the importance of that representation at large.
That's such a great question. Yes, the way we imagine ourselves is extremely important, and this art serves, to give people something to actually reference, to help them, to help their ambitions as well as they look forward, because we look back a lot, and it's important to reflect. But I think it's really, with this art, it's really important, to sort of start the conversation of thinking of Africa in a different way, and that is the ultimate goal, to give people input visually on how and what we can achieve through different fields and through an unexpected medium, which is art.
Because creative expression is actually also a rebellion against oppression. And so if we're going to look at the artistic practices, yours in particular, how it intersects with Afrofuturism, the social commentary, the cultural critique, if we are going to look forward, ultimately, what do you want that to encompass? What are some of those themes that we're reimagining?
Yeah. I think the way we live, number one, is key. The way we interact with each other. And then that's why, I've sort of positioned it as reimagining Africa and not just South Africa.
Yes.
I've been fortunate enough to travel within the continent and, and some parts of the world. And I've just seen the importance of unifying and a lot of the commonalities that actually exist within our tribes within Africa. And that's super important, that Pan-African idea, that as much as we are obviously individuals and individual tribes, interacting in the way we interact with each other is super important. And, we interact with a sense of respect and a sense of understanding and appreciation for our diversity.
ISINTU, as part of the Afrofuturist movement, talk to us about what makes it unique, but also which piece or image stood out the most for you and why?
Yeah. So yeah, Afrofuturism is the American sort of concept.
Yeah.
A lot of great work has been done. What the work I'm doing is more of an Afro Sci-fi position, which is Africa looking outward. So we are saying, hey, we are Africa. This is, our signature visually, and this is what we're capable of, and we're presenting that to the world. So that is the mindset and, the outlook of ISINTU as an art movement in this Afro, science fiction space. In terms of how that sort of comes to life and is envisioned. Obviously, one of my favorite pieces is, if you've got one on screen, it's the Utata, Utata Nendombi, and I've actually got them behind me here. Gula Olympics. Those are my two favorites because of the ideas and the themes that they explore. Gula Olympics explores the rite of passage, and from child to adult, or from boyhood to manhood. That is a very important theme and concept that I want to express, because there's a lot of evolution that individually is demanding of you to become a better version of yourself against all odds. And as you sort of would see in the image behind me, Gula Olympics as a piece has a lot of references to African stick fighting, or Xhosa stick fighting specifically, and it's this conflict, or it was presented as conflict of tradition and machine, interacting, but the outcome of it being that that interaction or that conflict, you come out better.
Viwe, let's get into that. Let's get into that just as we wrap up, because I actually want to look at this wave of change with the fourth industrial revolution, Android consciousness as well, but even the development of empathy, the merging of tradition and this, fourth industrial revolution, the biases, the prejudice that's also come, but as a result, but also how we can empower ourselves. Will it further divide us? How do we unite through this next wave of change as well, through Afrofuturism?
Yeah, I think the unification comes in, just having a realization of our sophisticated ways of living, and just having that appreciation obviously leads to self-love and love of each other as a community. And I think that is the biggest sort of starting point. In addition to that, how we interact and how we innovate then is influenced by by that self-love and that unapologetic sort of pride of our diverse identity and heritage. And I think through that basis, and that's part of what I explored in my pieces, is that man breathes soul into the machine. It's not the other way around. Intelligence, yes. Artificial intelligence, or mechanical otherwise, is is formed, by machine, by us as people. So that is really the purpose of.
Well, that conversation continues, Viwe. I'm going to leave the conversation there for now. Thank you for your time and thank you for this offering. Viwe Mfaku, of course, showing his extraordinary vision with the world, chatting to us about his online exhibition. It's entitled ISINTU Season 2, a testament to African creativity and resilience, navigating the future as well. Again, thank you to him for joining us at this hour.